Two things I really love: roller coasters and simulation games like Roller Coaster Tycoon based on roller coasters. It's kind of redundant, I'm aware, but roller coasters are amazing. Amusement parks, theme parks, Disney, Six Flags, all that stuff is great. I think it's in my blood. In fact, here's just a quick video of my daughter's reaction on her first roller coaster.
Here we go!
Exactly. Everyone loves a great roller coaster, except my wife. She hates roller coasters, but you know, not for everybody. That is what we're talking about today. My wife and roller coasters. No, that's not what we're talking about today. It kind of is though, because we're talking about today Unfair by Simon. This game is aptly titled, or is it? Let's talk about, is this game actually unfair, or is it, as some of the cards say, funfair? Who knew? Let's find out right now. So Unfair is a roller coaster simulation game. No, it's not. It's a roller coaster tycoon simulation game with great looking components. It is a card tableau building game that we are going to explore right now. I just wanted to give you an example of all the components, including this adorable little gem right here. Plastic resin roller coaster. Very detailed, probably wood paint. Let's talk for a minute about how the game is played and look at what happens, and do we like it? Is it something you should play or try or enjoy and all that sort of stuff? So basically the setup is this: there's 5 themes in the main box. However, there's an insert with a space for a lot more themes. I hope that means that more themes are coming. That would be great, because we like themes. In our setup game here, we've got Pirate and Vampire. This is a 2-player game. Basically, you take 2 of the themes and you mash them up. No, this is not some AEG game. You take 2 of the themes, you mix them into one deck of different types of decks. What does that mean? Well, in each deck there are event cards, funfair and unfair city cards. See what they did there? Blueprint cards and park cards. That is in every theme as well. Every character gets, or every player gets, a main gate and a loan card. I have not used a loan yet. Talk about those in a minute. You would then deal each character 5 cards, right? That's your starting hand. You would then fill up the market down here. That's right, like any deck building game, it has a market, but it is not a deck builder, it's a tableau builder. You would fill up the market, and each of these cards has a cost. On each card, for instance, it will have a star in the top right corner. That is not the cost, that is the amount of guests it draws. So for this one, 0. This is a vending machine. Who wants to go to a theme park for the vending machines? Down here, this one is a cable car. It attracts 2 guests. It has a cost of 8. What that means is, to build this out of your hand or out of the market, you would pay 8 and then place it to the right of your main gate. I don't even know if that's in frame, but I'm going to change angles right now. This is your play area. You have a main gate here worth 1 guest. Guest capacity is 15. Total attractions is 5, super attractions is 1. Your super attractions are the showcase cards over here. So this is the 2 robot showcase cards. You can build these once you have a 5 guest star limit, or count, or whatever. It's a thrill ride here for the robots. Both of them are super attraction thrill rides. They both do different things. They cost 20 points. They have 2 different icons, which we will talk about in just a second, because that has to do with scoring. So as the game goes, it progresses. You have a hand of cards as well. Your hand limit is 5. You'll have different types of cards. For instance, this is a theme card. So the cable car, if you paid $12, 12 coins, which that's right up there, you saw that earlier, you would slide this in, and look how neat that lines up. Isn't that great? It just makes that ribbon extend downwards. And now this ride has 2 symbols. What does that mean? At the end of the game, you score based on the amount of icons for each ride. So a 2-symbol ride is worth 8 points, whereas a 1 is worth a measly 5. And it goes up exponentially from there. Let's just say you wanted to hire a staff member. This one's worth 3 points at the end of the game. He's $4. One's per event step. We'll talk about the phases in just a second. You may reopen 2 attractions in your park. What does that mean? We'll find out. Incline loop. So let's just say that this is for thrill rides only. Let's say you had built the Robo-Apocalypse. You could then add an incline loop to it make it a thrilling ride. This now adds your guests for it to 4 instead of 3. The guests in the guest phase are what give you money in the game. You need money, of course. Here's an attraction, a sideshow. You can continue building these attractions out. And look, the sideshow now has a vending machine near it. Great. And 3 symbols. That is the main way to score this game, is by getting these symbols on your ride. Or is it? No, it's not, because over here, the blueprint cards, one of the actions you can do is take 2 of any type of card, discard 1 and keep the other. These are blueprints. So, very Ticket to Ride in style. If you don't do these, you lose 10 points. You don't lose all the points, you just lose 10 points. So this one, complete all the items up top. Penalty, 10 points. Any thrill ride with any feature upgrade. Boom, we got that right here. Any thrill ride with any feature upgrade. You need 2 of them for this card. At the bottom, if you do that, by the way, it's 25 points. If you also have 2 identical guest services upgrades, you then get 12 points on top of that. There is a funny rule though. You cannot have the exact same named upgrade on a card except for ones that say superior quality. And I'll show you what that looks like right here. Superior quality. Wow, that was really lucky that was on the bottom. These are the only ones you can have duplicates of. So what that means is you would have to have, let's say, we're talking about locker and coat check. You would need locker and coat check on 2 of your attractions to get the bottom part of this card. So 2 thrill rides, let's say you had this, with a feature upgrade on both of them, boom, boom, and then 2 locker and coat checks, you would then score 25 and 12, 37 points at the end of the game. That's another way to really score points, is these blueprint cards. Let's talk game phases. So there are quite a few phases in the game, and you track it with this great little roller coaster family down here. So the first phase is the event draw in player order. So if you're the first player, you'll draw an event card. These are things that say, for instance, they're 2-sided, and that's where the unfair really starts to happen, as its name. So special offers: reveal the top card of the park deck. You may put it in your hand and stop, or discard it to reveal another up to maximum of 5 cards revealed this way. Right. Pretty nice little card. At the bottom here, fire drills. Inspection: choose a type of an attraction and close all attractions of that type in your park. Starts to get a little unfair, doesn't it? Talk more about that in a minute. So, the event city phase, you will then flip over a city card. Oh, look at this, a bank error, gain 5 coins. Oh, wait a minute. Festive season, draw a park card. You may keep it or exchange it with something from the market. Hey, look at this one. It's a movie tie-in. You get 3 extra guests this time. Hey, wait a minute. Change of plans. Injunction. From the park cards in your hand, choose 1 to keep and discard the others. Hey, wait a minute. Close all attractions that do not have any guest services upgrades. Hey, we're getting more and more unfair. Inspection: for each ride attraction at your park, demolish the upgrade built closest to the attraction card. Order matters. When you place something at your main gate, you have to keep them in order. So in ours, it would have to stay Cable Car, Robopocalypse, the sideshow, and then I think the other Mega Death or whatever it's called. You have to keep it in that order, left to right. You also have to keep your upgrades in order. And the reason that happens, some of these cards affect the order in which you play it. It's a neat thing to have a tableau builder actually matter in order. So you have to think sometimes, because there are some upgrades like a flagpole which stop you from being affected, but once you put a flagpole on, well, you can't put anything else on that ride for a little bit. So that's the event city. Event play, you'll take turns in turn order playing event cards. Also, some of the cards down there have things that say in the event phase. I think, our technician did. Till everyone passes. Then you do park action 1. So people will take a park action. The 4 park actions are listed on this card over here. Everybody gets a big, well, 2 of these big ones. It's a 4-person game, by the way. 2 to 4 persons, whatever. Everybody gets one of these cards and a miniature one as well with the same information on it. 4 actions. You can take, build, demolish, or loose change. So what that means is, take a card, choose from, I'm gonna read these to you because they're important, put a card from the market into your hand for later. You can then also, or you could draw 2 park cards, or 2 event cards, or 2 blueprint cards, keep 1 or none. You can also discard any card from your hand to draw 5 park cards and choose 1 to keep. So different ways to get cards that you need, because those blueprint cards are very specific sometimes. And if you can't go through the deck, you are messed up. By the way, if you run out of the deck, you just discard or you shuffle the discard pile. Second thing you can do is build a card. Choose from pay to build a card directly from the market or from your hand, or pay to build one of your showcase attractions. You must have at least 5 stars in your park. Demolish a card. Demolish or dismiss a card from your park. Why would you do that? Well, you might have something that's got almost no symbols, or it's got a lot of symbols but no guess count, and you need the guess count to get higher because guess count's how you get money. I'll explain that in a minute. Loose change. Gain 1 coin for each attraction in your park. That's the last kind of ditch effort. If you don't have an action you can do, or you can't afford to do anything, well, in ours we have 1, 2, 3, 4 attractions right now. We'd get $4. You'll take an action, everybody else take an action, everybody will take a second action, everybody will take a third action. If you have a card that allows a 4th action, and some people do, you take the 4th action, then you do the guest phase. You count the guest phase by counting the stars of open attractions in your park. So as we see up in the top right corner, the star number. So in ours, we would get 1, 3, 6, 7, nothing really, and 10. $10 for the 10 guest count. Remember, you have a limit of 15. There are cards that allow you to bump that limit up, but you cannot have more than 15 stars in your park. It means you can't even build to get past that limit, which is a problem. Your guest capacity is important. Kind of a fire code thing or something is why you can't have more than that. Anyway, cleanup phase happens after everyone gets their money. All of the market cards are discarded. You deal out 6 more market cards past the player marker to the right or around the table, whatever. And then you go from there. Why is it called unfair? So in our house, unfair is actually called funfair. No, it's not. I don't have one of those cheesy house rules where every time someone says bonus round, you go bonus round, something like that. If you do, that's great, but this one we don't actually call funfair, but we play it like funfair. In fact, there are 5 cards that change the setup and build of the game called game changers. One of them is called World Peace, which eliminates the bottom parts of those event cards. Now, you can still do the event cards on the bottom part and not play ruthlessly, but it's a pretty brutal game if you want it to be. However, I bought this game for Carla, my wife. You saw her debut on Throat Punch Lunch this past week. I bought it for her, and she likes this kind of game. She loves Tableau Builder, 7 Wonders. Again, one of her favorites. Scythe is her favorite game, by the way, just so you can tell different styles there. But Scythe is not what we're talking about. 7 Wonders is her favorite game. She loves Tableau Builders, right? It's a very friendly game, 7 Wonders. You can't really mess with people in 7 Wonders. This one is called unfair because you really have a chance to jack with people. So the bottom of these cards, shutting down other people's rides, choose up to 3 upgrades in your park and move each of them to any number of suitable attractions in your park. So not all of them are bad on the bottom. It just is a choice. But some of them, intrusion, choose a quality or theme upgrade in any park and demolish it. Let's just say that my blueprint card had to have an incline loop because some of them are that specific. And this is a feature upgrade card. So if someone plays that card, they won't know what my blueprint is, but they just might just be trying to mess with me and say, hey, destroy that inclined loop. Well, now I'm potentially it's not a 25-point swing, it's a 35-point swing because I no longer am going to make my goal, but I'm also going to lose 10 points. So it's not a game where I would get angry at people, but other people might. You just know that going in. You might get angry playing this game. So when Carla and I play, we play a very friendly, very genial game because I know that if she plays this game and has a bad experience, and she's not a sore loser of any kind, but she doesn't like a lot of conflict. She doesn't like games which we're directly trying to rip each other off, take that type of stuff. She hates take that games. So I know that if I play this bloodthirstily and ruthlessly and go, you shut down and close your stuff, she's going to hate it. We're never going to play it again. And I really like the game, and I like to continue playing because you'll notice the player count is somewhere on this board, 2 to 5. It's not a 4-player game, I lied. It's 2 to 5. Can't play it solo, which means I have to play it with someone, and Carla, being my wife, is the best choice. So she hates the game because I'm playing ruthlessly. She's never going to want to play this again. So you have a choice. You can play this game funfair or you can play it unfair. Neither of them are wrong, neither of them are bad. You just need to know who you're playing with to decide, hey, can I really wreck these people and then come away and have a good time? If so, do it. If not, just play the fun version, the funfair version instead of the unfair version. So one of the things I didn't mention, if you close an attraction in your park, you just flip it over. It doesn't demolish. Demolish means it's gone. So that's funfair in a nutshell. That's how the game plays. You're building your tableau. Once you run out of these city cards, it's 8 rounds. Basically, once you run out of city cards, the game's over and you score. Scoring at the end, like I talked about, you get your points for your blueprint cards as well as these, the icons. So icons are cool. I love stretching those icons out. For instance, if you have a 25 icon card ride in here, you get 310 points. The odds of that happening are very slim, but if you do, great. You score your attractions, score your blueprints, score your coins. It's 2 coins equal 1 point, and then any other staff members that cause you points. Loans, you can take a -10 victory point for 5 coins. Yet again, I've never used that. So that's Unfair, that's how it plays. You should get this game. It's really fun, really good. The art's great, the theme is great. All of the whole stacking and thoughtful elements are really good. I love it. Unfair, it's a win, it's a hit. Unless you have friends who get angry, and then it's a don't play. So, that's Unfair. Make sure you follow us at The Latest Retro. We've got a new Instagram account as well as Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Doing some crazy stuff. Having fun doing these reviews. Got a lot of good stuff coming. If you didn't check out the Dark Souls review recently, check that out. Great game. But, until next time, I'm Brian Drake. We will see you.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.